It is imperative that along this journey, you learn how to understand and master emotions. Emotions are an element, an essence of who you are that is not only helping you to move forward and fuel you to actually take action, but they also act as triggers to initiate a state of contemplation, self awareness, to recognize areas in your life, areas in who you are that need to be recognized, healed, forgiven, and processed in order for you to move forward in life and understanding who you are and what you're meant to do here. So it's important that you understand the sacred purpose of your emotions because without recognizing that your emotions are not just simply a curse, they are not something that simply causes you to react and do things that are irrational, but they're in fact there for you for a reason. You see, emotions are the fuel that helps you to move forward in life. The issue is when we are not mindful about the emotions and we're not mindful about your purpose in life, then what happens is those emotions, when triggered, right, they can tend to lead to unproductive, bad decisions and basically a path of chaos and destruction. And so when you are mindful about the necessary purpose behind emotions and that these emotions are meant for you, they are, in fact, the generators of your motion, your productivity, your proaction, your ability to create the things that you desire, and thus create the mindset, create the lifestyle, create the desires and wants that you have. Then you recognize that, okay, it is not so much having to focus on avoiding or focus on not experiencing emotions. It's really a matter of learning how to direct these emotions, learning how to point them and use them in a way that's productive towards me achieving my goals, achieving my aspirations, doing the things that I enjoy, and thus creating the lifestyle that you want. So you have to understand that along this journey, along this spiritual journey, there are three things you have to be mindful about. That is your mind, that is your body, that is your spirit. Your spirit is responsible for generating these emotions. But the thing is, when your spirit is not guided and your spirit isn't clear as to the sacred nature of who you are, being the creator of your universe, the creator of your desires and the things that you desire and want to manifest and materialize, then what happens is when these emotions are ignited, sometimes for no apparent reason, because that is who you are as a human being. Sometimes you just need to experience these emotions, or something has happened, right? Somebody has said something, done something that has triggered you to engage these emotions. And when you're not in alignment with who you are and your nature and your purpose and your higher self, then those triggers turns into arguments. They turn into anger. They turn into frustration and turn into anxiety, even depression. So your job is to recognize that it is your responsibility to learn how to address these emotions, learn how to understand them, be compassionate towards your emotions, be compassionate towards yourself when having these emotions, but more importantly, learning how to use your mind to direct these emotions in the direction of your purpose, in the direction of the things that you desire. Because many times when people are triggered, they are experiencing an eruption of emotions that go toward the thing that you don't desire, the thing that you desire less, the thing that you don't want, you see? And what you have to do is recognize that life should be geared toward and focused on that which you do desire, that which you do want, that which you do wish to create in this life. You see, so understanding the nature and purpose behind you, but also the nature and purpose behind these emotions allows you to move forward in a way that's productive. And when feeling or experiencing whether it be triggers or just a randomness of an emotional eruption, you have the ability to take a step back and look at what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and what you can do with these feelings. Because if you know what to do with these feelings, then you can absolutely use them in a productive way toward creating that what you desire. Now, when you are experiencing emotional triggers, it's important for you to recognize that these triggers are an indicator, they're a symptom. They are inviting you to look deeper within yourself because it isn't the person or the situation that has caused you to feel anger, frustration, right? Anxiety. It is essentially your ability to, or your inability rather, to recognize that they just simply shown you something about yourself that you haven't addressed yet, that you haven't healed from yet. And because they have triggered that, you associate them being the blame or being at fault for actually causing you to feel this way. But it is your responsibility only to actually take ownership of these feelings. But recognize as well that there is a gift here, there's an opportunity here. When you are triggered, that is your moment. That is your moment to acknowledge and embrace spiritual growth and seeing that, hey, if I am feeling this way, a way that I do not wish to feel, and I understand that emotions has a higher purpose and a cause, then you can take ownership of the opportunity of growth and say to yourself, okay, why am I feeling these emotions? Why am I feeling angry, anxious, right? Why am I feeling mad or frustrated? What is it within me that I am experiencing, that I am creating or living that allows me or creates a situation for me to actually feel that I need to be angry? What is it that is being presented to me? What is the reflection that I'm experiencing to want to have this eruption of emotions? Okay. That is when you take ownership of the trigger that you're experiencing, look at yourself and recognize that, okay, I am feeling triggered. Why am I feeling triggered? Then you go deep into self contemplation, self awareness, look deep within the question, go as far as you can. That will allow you to unravel, unfold, and then come into self realization as to something that may have happened in the past, a belief system that you currently have that is truly false, and then recognizing, okay, I can heal from this. Understand that your emotions, your negative emotions, are letting you know that something isn't right, something isn't real. All right. Because remember, you are already a whole and complete individual. And this spiritual journey is about coming into that understanding, recognizing that you are whole and complete already. It is not about changing from this idea of incompletion, imperfection, and trying to put the pieces back together. What the journey is about is acknowledging that there are excess pieces, right? The excess pieces are the negative programmings, the self-doubt, the insecurities, those things that were placed upon us as we grew up in life, as we experienced certain things, as we believed the people that were raising us, right, and guiding us, and we took their knowledge and information and insight and took it as reality. And so now that you're at this place of spiritual awakening and consciousness and being aware of your journey, you can then take responsibility and say, okay, these programs, these belief systems do not serve me. And so, with the negative emotions being triggered, what that does is actually shows you where these negative belief systems exist. They're an opportunity for you to see, okay, if I'm experiencing, am I being triggered right now? Then there is something within me that has a belief system that is not productive, that is not supportive, that is not in alignment with my true essence and my true self, and the understanding that I'm already whole and complete. You see, when we are triggered, it is because we have a belief that we are not complete, that we are not who we wish to be, right? That we are insecure. And so You have to recognize the gift of being triggered. You have to recognize the gift of being, irritated, right? The gift of being pissed off by somebody. It really isn't the person that pissed you off. What they did basically triggered or ignited, right? Facilitated or reminded you of your own personal insecurities or issues because you are failing to see that you are already whole and complete. So there are many layers of this understanding, and you simply have to go deep. You have to be willing to go deep within yourself in the question as to why you are triggered in the first place without blaming other people. Because as long as you continue to identify triggers with somebody else's faults or somebody else's actions, and that alone, then you will fail to miss the opportunity for spiritual growth in your life. But then when you see, okay, I am triggered by this person actually gave me a gift of looking at myself and recognizing, okay, something here doesn't align with my higher self. And if I look at it, take an honest, transparent, authentic look at it, then I get to see where I am missing the mark, where I am not aligned with my true self, with my higher self. So you have to understand that there's a connection between emotion, energy, and personal power. All right. The emotion ignites the energy. But when we are triggered, oftentimes that emotion ignites an energy that sends you to acting in a way that's irrational, unproductive, maybe even chaotic, maybe even cause you to get into certain situations that you later regret. But when you understand that the emotions can be used in a way to create productive energy and action, then you are now empowered to use the triggers, to use the emotions, right? To fuel you and give you more energy to actually do the things that you need to do that aligns with who you truly are. So you have to recognize the connection between your emotions and how it gives you energy. Because remember, the emotions are fuel, right? Emotions are fuel for action. Without emotions, we wouldn't do anything. We wouldn't take action. We wouldn't be determined. We wouldn't be disciplined, right? We wouldn't be excited. We wouldn't be passionate. And so with that, it gives you energy to take action. Now you have to learn to direct that energy and that action toward that which you desire. That's where the power lies. That's where true power comes into play and where you absolutely captivate and own your own power. So, with that, I want you to understand the importance of recognizing how powerful and important emotions are. But you have to also understand that your emotions are a reflection, just like everything else that you experience in life. They are essentially reflections as to what's going on within. It isn't anybody else who's causing you to get angry. It isn't anybody else who's causing you to be happy and joyful. You have to take responsibility and recognize that though, yes, they can remind you, right? They can give you a sense of reference, right? Which can then trigger a feeling, an internal feeling and understanding about yourself that just simply isn't right. And so when you have those negative beliefs, those negative emotions, and you are exploding because you just don't know how to recognize those emotions and direct them in a productive way, then that is what we call being triggered. That is what we call being, frustrated, being irritated, being pissed off, being angry. And then we have nowhere to place that. But when you go down this journey of understanding the importance of emotions and what they're for and how to use them, then that is when you get to use even the anger, even the frustration in a productive way to help support your spiritual understanding and spiritual revelations. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my daily newsletter, get access to this free ebook, and I look forward to sharing more with you soon. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.